if I like this new setting or not. Yeah. A couple things. First off, I want to congratulate Coach Erickson, the soccer team, the season they had, uh, building something. I mean, it's fun to see a team build momentum and get better year after year. I know they fell a little bit short yesterday, but certainly, them with football, having another top 10 win. I'm sure the stands were packed. I wasn't able to see it. And then volleyball, doing what they're doing, getting ready to go to another national tournament. There's a lot of momentum, with UNI athletics right now. Now for us, we just want to keep that going. This weekend, I think we're able to do a little bit of that. Having two guys in the All-Star duel is obviously a big deal for your program. I'm always going to send guys there as long as our guys are healthy. A lot of teams sometimes don't do that. Maybe they don't want a big, tough match early, but I think it was really good for, even though Drew lost the match, probably the only opportunity he was going to get to see that guy this year. Was able to get the first takedown, relaxed a little bit in a front headlock, got taken down, and then got ridden in that third period, but it's still all practice. If he continues to improve and get better kind of at the rate that he did last year, if he keeps in the same things in the same perspective that he did last year, we're going to be in real good shape with him. Max was able to find a way to win that match. He was in on a shot for about 45 seconds before he scored. Just staying tenacious, and that's one thing about Max Thompson is the guy finds ways to get it done. It was good to wrestle that guy. Like I said, I don't think we'll see him anywhere other than the national tournament again. So both those guys got to represent the program. One thing I really liked is Max came out to me before the match and he said, "Hey, Coach, can I wear my UNI singlet out there?" Because they gave him singlets to wear. And I was like, you know what, I like where your head's at, but we're not going to rock the boat too much here. Well, why don't you wear the singlet everyone else is wearing? But he wanted to wear it. That's how he is. He bleeds purple and gold. So I love that he wanted to do that. But he had to wear the singlet that they gave him. The tournament this weekend, anytime an open tournament, it's always a little bit of a mixed bag of things. Some really good things. Carter Isley, real good things. Man, he's so big and strong. He hasn't figured it out yet how really good he is. And when you start seeing the guy kind of scratch the surface of that, it's exciting as a coach because, man, he's really, really good. Got to see a little bit of that this weekend. A guy that he spent a lot of time with, Sheedenhelm. I tell you what, that guy made up his mind. In the third period of the match against, the Iowa State kid who's, a big-time recruit coming out, he's down 7-3, and he just gotten the heck ridden out of him. He got turned for 4, and he went down, and I know I'm shaking my head. But he got out right away, took him down, cut him, took him down again, put him to his back, and pinned him. And he just said he made up his mind, and sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it just takes, you got to make up your mind. And you're not okay with where things are at, and that you're not going to kind of put a guy up on a pedestal a little bit. And I tell you what, when guys figure out how good they are and you see something like that happen, that's exciting as a coach. A guy like Schwarm. Schwarm was able to beat a guy that was around 12 last year, a kid from Northern Illinois who's Hudgens, who's a really good competitor, and was able to do it kind of in a way that Schwarm doesn't. It's 2-2 going in the third period. He's got riding time, and it's his choice, and he picks top. Perfect. I love that a guy has that kind of, belief in a position. We need to have more guys that kind of have that kind of swagger about them if they're on their feet or they're on bottom or they're on top or whatever it is, that they can do that to anybody. And he believes he can do it to anybody, and I tell you what, I know he can too. And that's something that's exciting to see, kind of how a guy kind of walks out there and believes he's the guy, and he goes out and competes that way. And I know I'm talking about kind of the guys that won the tournament. There's a lot of other guys. Obviously, that there's a lot of good things. I mean, it's good. Like I said, good and bad, but we had to have a starting point, and this tournament was a starting point for us. It was a little bit different tournament than it had been. Usually you kind of getting 5 or 6 matches in because it's a really big tournament. This one was more, guys were getting maybe 3 or 4, which is okay. It's a good way for us to start. Lujan was able to win the tournament and got better as the day went. And Schoenfelter, Skidlarczyk, Lara, they all won the fresh soft division. Skidlarczyk, very good competitor. they had the mats out there, and then between a couple of mats, they had him a gap, and so his knee hit on the cement, and he had to take his injury time. And he gutted it out and was still able to win the match, still to win the match pretty handily, but just kind of the toughness that I'm seeing out of him, the composure that I see out of him. And, I get some people like, this kid's from Texas, he can wrestle. He can wrestle. So I was excited to see what he was able to do. Laura and Schoenfelter. I know I mentioned those names, and it's certainly a team effort, but like I said, saw a lot of good things when we'll look to just continue to build on it. So I don't know if there's any questions.